Hello, welcome to Closing Chapters, Everyday Real Estate Tales. I'm your host, Brittany Fry. I'm a realtor, I'm a military wife, and I'm a mom. Join me and come transaction by transaction throughout my real estate career starting back in 2016 to hear about the highs, the lows, and the unexpected turns along the way through all of my customers. It's going to be a crazy ride, you guys. I am so excited to share the past, the current, and then what's coming in the future. Hang tight for the ride. Join me about being a realtor, a military spouse, and a mom. Can't wait to see you there. Hey friends, welcome back. Let's talk about my next transaction in 2017. But wait, it ended in 2017, but this sucker began in 2016. I had the opportunity to co-list a listing with an agent in my office that started back on October 11th, 2016. It was an adorable little 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 985 square foot brick rancher over in Dalzell, South Carolina. We listed this property for $70,000 back in October of 2016. Can you imagine buying a move-in ready house for $70,000 nowadays? Yes, I know it was tiny and it was cute and, an older house, but nowadays this house would sell for $150,000 probably. It actually was only a few streets down from my own personal property, so that made it even better. It was so cool to have a listing and market something that was in my neck of the woods. So I was really thankful for this opportunity. So we put this house on the market for $70,000 and it sat for a hot minute. So back in the day, 2015, 16 through 19, it's extremely customary for us to have a year-long listing agreement. So if somebody signed a listing agreement on January 1, 2023, I would have had it until December 31st, 2023, the whole entire year. So that was the case with this one because it was normal for it to take 6, 9+ months for a house to sell. And what was really kind of neat, right? We all have our own expectations and our own pressures that we put on ourselves as real estate professionals. But this seller was so kind and sweet and just relaxed. She knew that everything was going to come together and it would happen when it happens. And that is such a beautiful relationship to have. So she fully trusted that we were going to get everything done and have her taken care of. And we did. So ultimately, we ended up lowering the price to $60,000 at one point. And when we got it under contract and all settled, we ended at $61,200. Okay, so let's talk about some of the limiting factors on this property. First off, it was a 3-bed, 1-bath, so there wasn't a half bath or an additional second bathroom, and that's a little bit hard. A lot of people, even a 3-bedroom house, expect there to at least be a half bath in addition to the full bath. So that was a little bit hard to get past. And this adorable little house did not have washer and dryer hookups inside the house. Now, the reason I say that is because it did have a washer and dryer hookup in a little shed on the back side of the house. So you had to go outside and go to this little shed to do the laundry. Still a blessing that it was there. You didn't have to load up everything, go to the laundromat, but it was just a little bit quirky and not the norm. So a lot of people had a hard time getting past that. So we just had to wait for the perfect little buyer to come along. And he did. Our buyer was a great first time home buyer. He was a single bachelor pad kind of guy. He worked a lot, worked out of town, traveling, and he just needed a place to come home and rest his head on the weekends. So this was a fantastic opportunity for him to get keys in his hand, have his first property, build wealth within his real estate investment, and hold on to a great financial asset. Like I said, this property would not sell for $70,000 ever again. It is worth so much more than that now. So what a great investment. So happy for this buyer. Now, on the flip side, our sellers didn't do too bad either. They had had this property for over 30 years. It was clean and clear. This was just cash in hand. It was time for it to go. So, anyhow, it all worked out. But along the way, right, we closed this property May 22nd, 2017. That's 7 months. That's a long time for a house just to be sitting, right? Well, it wasn't exactly sitting. Do you remember my sweet little airman that was deployed and I was helping her find a house and I was trying to work with her at the time husband? The marriage went south. I had to stop communicating with him, represented her, and I had put him in a temporary rental. This was that rental, you guys. So, my seller, this is how wonderful she is. I came to her and I said, "Hey, Miss Seller, I have this client that is just sitting in a hotel. It's a really bad spot. He's paying more than he should. Could he pay you month to month to rent your house while it's on the market?" And they got an agreement together for that. He paid her a monthly rent, was able to stay at the house. He was great about being available to market it, to get out for showings. He only had like an air mattress and a little pop-up chair. It was fantastic, super easy. So that worked out really well, and we were able to get a little bit of extra change in her pocket. So that was a neat opportunity. Not always something that you see happen very often, probably won't happen very often again in the future, but for this instance, it worked well until I had to cut ties with him and tell him he had to get out and I didn't know where he was going to do, what he was going to do, where he was going to go, and I couldn't help him anymore. So awkward. I felt so bad. I never want to displace somebody and I always want to fix things for everyone. So that was definitely not the highlight of my year. I did not enjoy doing that. But he went back to Maryland. He carried on with life and it was all okay. So, lesson learned, take care of your folks, run your business. Everything's going to sort itself out. So, anyhow, it was really interesting that we were able to accomplish all of this for her. But one of the things I really want to focus in on is, well, there's two things really. So, one, this seller is so amazing that she and I still stay in touch to this day. 7 years later, she is on my Facebook. She likes the pictures of my children. We talk from time to time. If she has a real estate referral, you bet she calls me and talks to me about it. If I can't help her, then I get her in touch with who can. And it is amazing. And I'm so thankful for that relationship. It's just the power to show that if you take care of your people and you stay in touch with them, your opportunities are limitless. Okay? It's such an important thing. This is a relationship business. You are here to build and nourish and thrive off of your sphere of influence and the relationships around you. And you never know where that can take you. It's taken me a lot of places I never thought I would go, or accomplishments that I never thought I would see. So I'm so thankful for the relationships that I have. Now, the second part that I really wanted to talk about, this is big, you guys. So, if you are a new agent, listen, 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 listen. You have so much noise around you everywhere. You have all these expectations being set. You see all these people that are thriving and successful to their own rights. Okay? But they are not you. You can start your business how you want. You can run your business how you want. And it is okay to build a solid foundation for your business first, slow and steady. And it is okay to start small and work your way up. You do not have to come out the gate just killing it, taking on these huge listings or these huge clients or thinking you have to have 5 deals going at a time. It is okay to be slow and steady. There is a lot to learn when you're starting real estate, and you can go to class all day long, but until you get in the middle of a transaction, something goes sideways, or you experience something that wasn't talked about in school, you are not going to know what to do. You're going to have your hands full. And there's going to be plenty of opportunities to learn and grow and be involved in your community, to be involved in your office, to do continuing education, open houses for other agents. There's so many opportunities when you're starting out in real estate. Do not get discouraged. Do not listen to the noise around you. And do not compare yourself to others. You are your own individual. Remember, we go back to my first year in real estate? I hardly sold anything, you guys. And then I just took off. The gates opened and I ran. But that first year, I went to as many lunches as I could. I went to Chamber of Commerce events. I immersed myself in my community. I went to any event I could at the military base in town because the military niche was my world, is my world, still to this day. And I am so thankful for that time because once you get busy, it's a lot harder to say yes to those things. It's hard to get to go to lunch 3, 4, 5 days out the week with somebody different. or anybody at all. A lot of times I'm eating lunch in my car, driving from one place to the other. It is hard to make time to go to community events. Wait until you have kids and you are taking care of your kids too. I am so blessed to have my children with me the majority of the time, but that means that I have to say no to other things. So if you are in a position where you do not have children yet, you are just starting out and you have time and time and time and time on your hands, use it. Get out and about. Get in your community, put your face out there, and don't just sit behind a desk, a phone, your TV. Do something productive and start the foundation for your real estate career. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing around you. So, this was a great example of that, okay? I made less than $400 on this transaction. But because of this transaction, I have a phenomenal relationship with the seller. I learned a lot more about having listings. I grew my business. My sign was out there for everybody in the world to see that drove past this house. And it gave me another opportunity to learn and grow. That's all I needed. Okay? So, just a reminder, it doesn't matter how big or small you start. You do you. Make your business your own business. There is not a right or wrong way to run your business. Everybody is unique. We all have our strengths and weaknesses. That's the beauty of this, is that you get to mold and mesh the perfect parts, the best parts of you, and make this beautiful, crazy business work. And then later on, we're going to talk about and learn how we need to give up some of that, the things that we're not great at or the things that are time consuming. Eventually, you're going to be so busy that you're going to say, oh my God, I can't do it all. But right now, that's not the focus. Right now, the focus is to build and grow and be a part of your community the way that you want to show up. I cannot wait to tell you guys about my next transaction. I am so glad to have you here with me. And thank you for hanging tight. Have a great day.